Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. As always, we'll start with EVE Online, and I've played around an average amount of EVE Online. It's definitely been quite okay, although most of my time was spent doing some mining. Just needed to relax a little bit, and so I take the easy route with a little bit of Orca mining in Dital. I of course also kept up with the blueprint copy business and with the PI. I just emptied out my planets. And for the blueprint copy business, around average. I think business picked up a little bit, and although the Raitaru blueprint is down in price to less than 5 million ISK, that's really not that much. The blueprint for the Astrahus though is up to like 12 million or something like that. So that's been doing quite okay. Volumes are up a little bit, but not all that much, and so I'm making decent ISK out of the blueprint copies at the moment. When it comes to my plans, I've prepared a little bit for that, so I went on to CC to check out the Resource Wars, and I prepared a venture for the first tier of Resource Wars. Then we'll need to get into the second, third, fourth, and finally the fifth one, and see what kind of a ship I think we want to bring in those sites, because it's really not all that easy. But yeah, that's part of the preparations for the expansion. When it comes to the plans for the expansion, that's been a little bit of a roller coaster. So at first I was thinking, you know, maybe we'll just start our moving operations from the expansion on, but then CCP said, you know what, or I read on Reddit about eVegas that there was going to be moon mining in HiSec as well as wormhole space, and I thought, all right, moon mining in every HiSec system, that sounds pretty cool. So then I was making plans to maybe wait for that to launch until I would then put up a refinery in Iona for some moon mining, but now it turns out that it's only in 0.5 systems, so Dital is a 0.5 system. CCP is really playing with me right now when it comes to my plans for setting up a refinery. The easiest path would basically be to put it up in Dital, but I also want to do Resource Wars for the Galente. So we will see. We will see how I try to do this, but that's probably going to need to be planned up to the expansion. Then when the expansion hits, I'll have to have something ready. But I'm definitely not moving right away at the expansion, so the services in Dital are going to stay up for at least a little while longer, and I will see how we can incorporate everything else that I want to do. It's not gonna be easy, but we will find a way, of course. Next up, we have some Heroes of the Storm. That's been a pretty mixed week last week, because I constantly kept getting the quest to play 3 games with a warrior hero, and the warrior playstyle is my least favorite of all. I by far prefer the specialist, and then after that I prefer the ranged assassins, and after that I would rather go with a support hero. And the warrior, it's not been easy, so I tried, I think, Rexar out for the first time. I basically threw the game early on because I didn't figure out the D command for Misha all too well, so it's a lot of clicking, a lot of hectic clicking, not exactly my forte. I did a couple of games with Artanis, that's decently doable. You've got decent damage, really good survivability. People don't like to primary Artanis at all, so you're left alone quite often. And with the right combination, like a switch, then a Garrosh, for instance, that there were some really cool possibilities there. But it's still, because you always have to chase into melee range, and then you make yourself quite vulnerable against some setups. I don't really like the warrior playstyle all that much, so my focus is always going to be on other heroes. But basically the quests forced me into some Heroes of the Storm with warrior heroes, so it's been a different experience, a chance to check out a couple of new heroes. But yeah, it's not my forte, so we'll see how the quests evolve. I'm keeping up with the daily quests when it comes to Heroes of the Storm, trying to earn gold so that I can unlock more heroes as I want to try new ones. At the moment I have like 40,000 gold, so I'm not sure which ones I want to buy just yet. I'm having plenty of fun with the roster that I have already, but yeah, it's fun to do. It's something that I do like practically every day, 1 to 2 games. It gets me through the daily quests, and at that pace I can keep going, and I can keep enjoying Heroes of the Storm. And finally, we have some EVE Valkyrie. That's the final game that I played this week. I also played a little bit of of Stellaris, but really not all that much. Basically, I'm not able to break out of the stalemate completely. So I've got an extra video coming. I'll keep that a little bit as a surprise. But yeah, it's hardly worth mentioning the amount of Stellaris that I played. But when it comes to Eve Valkyrie, I try to play a couple of games every day. So it's definitely different from my Heroes of the Storm experience. I don't feel like pushing for a daily quest every day. I think that basically they're not set up in the same way as Heroes of the Storm, but you also don't need to, of course. You don't need to keep up with the daily quest to, for instance, unlock new ships or anything like that. And that's a big difference, of course. That means that CCP can afford to put in some trickier, harder daily quests. But I have to be honest, it's the daily quests in Heroes of the Storm that basically allow me to always make progress with 1 or 2 games practically every day, that keeps me playing that at a very consistent pace and keeps going. When it comes to the Valkyrie quest, sometimes you get really very difficult ones. Kill 15 stealth bombers, that's something that's gonna take forever to do. Even play 5 games in a very specific mode can take a lot of time. You've got some easy ones, right? Capture 15 points or kill a number of drones, that's pretty easy. But what I'm personally missing to keep going every day is a heavy doses of, let's say, play 3 games with this ship or play 3 games with this class of ship, and that's just not coming up often enough, so that I have to constantly look for a good quest to do on that day. And yeah, Eve Valkyrie, I enjoy the gameplay myself. I think it's fast paced enough. You just go in the queue, play a couple of games, move on to something else if you want to. It's usually what I do to finish off my my evening, just a couple of extra games of Eve Valkyrie. Win some, lose some. It's all in good fun in my opinion, but you don't have that drive, in my opinion, to keep playing those daily quests, to keep grinding through the game. That is not something that I feel when it comes to Eve Valkyrie. It's just something to casually end the night with, and it's not something that I feel forced or that I feel like I even want to play every single evening. So it is something that I play probably 3-4 times a week or something like that at the moment. We'll see how that evolves, of course, and I will keep you guys up to date. But for now, that's it for this Sunday recap. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.
Thank you.